Well, nothing we can do. You guys wanna grab pizza?
Fighting crime from the sewers of New York City, or trying to destroy it, whatever floats your boat, is one thing. But maintaining relatively healthy relationships in the meantime? Now you're just expecting too darn much. Tack on the fact that the turtles are more teenage than ever in Mutant Mayhem's iteration, and you've got a recipe for some turbulent relationships. I'm Keefe Nossi with Wicked Binge, and this is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem Relationships, Healthy to Toxic. Alright, let's kick things off with the healthy relationships. You'll have to forgive me for the predictability, but the gold medal of health has to go to Splinter and the Turtles. Master Splinter was a normal rat guy who was shunned and hated by society and only found purpose in life after adopting 4 adorable mutant humanoid baby turtles. While he's by no means perfect given his prejudice against humans, Splinter was doing his best for the boys 100% of the time. He did his best to let them live among humans, only keeping them from doing so because of the attacks they were met with. After this, he kept them below the radar and taught them martial arts so they'd be able to defend themselves. Even given this completely understandable motive for his overprotective nature, Splinter still proves himself able to grow. After fighting off an army of Cynthia Utram's soldiers to save them from being milked, he encourages them to work together and stop Superfly, supporting them in showing human society just how cool they are. The love is reciprocated too. Although the turtles are upset at not being able to live amongst humans, they still respect and care deeply for their dad. It's about as healthy as a father-son relationship could be in this situation, really. As volatile as it can be at times, the silver medal of health still goes to the relationship between Raph, Leo, Donnie, and Mikey. Naturally, the Ninja Turtles themselves had to be pretty darn high on this list. Through thick and thin, the turtles never abandon each other and support each other however they can. Whether it's something as major as Raph saving Donnie from a falling car, or something as minor as Leo giving each of them a pep talk before the final battle. Heck, even when they were being milked by Cynthia, the other turtles offered to try and sing Donnie some BTS songs since he'd never get to see them live. Their relationship is extremely loyal and supportive, while at the same time feeling realistic, which is actually why they're only in the second place spot. The brothers are caring for sure, but they have their flaws. Leo tends to be a snitch sometimes, Raph can be overly aggressive, Donnie roasts him like a charcoal grill under the sun, and Mikey, okay, he doesn't really do anything wrong, but nobody's perfect. For teenage brothers, they're pretty darn healthy. But they aren't the only mutants who embody brotherly love. The bronze medal of health goes to Superfly's mutant gang, ironically excluding Superfly, consisting of Genghis Frog, Leatherhead, Bebop, Rocksteady, Mondo Gecko, Scumbug, and Wingnut. These guys are the evil mutants in name only. In reality, they, along with Superfly, were essentially orphaned at birth due to humans attacking Baxter Stockman in order to steal his toxic ooze. They may have more violent plans for humanity than the Turtles, but when you look at their relationship objectively, they've got this nice Phantom Troop-esque thing going on. They may be antagonists, but they truly just want to live good lives and keep each other safe, and in a sense that's pretty much the same as the Turtles, really. It makes sense too, considering they had no problem switching gears when the Turtles and Splinter told them they could all live together instead of having to eradicate humanity. On that note, let's give a quick mention to Splinter, the Turtles, and Superfly's mutants. While Superfly is, again, of course, an exception to the rule here, the Turtles' assurance that the mutants can live in peace with them and Splinter is what gets them to walk away from Superfly's evil plan. Each of them has their match in the group, whether it's the absolute vibe of a duo that is Mikey and Mondo Gecko, or the lovely couple of Splinter and Scumbug.
I've always wanted a cousin.
It's clear that this big family's gonna be a happy one. Hopefully, we'll see more of them in the next movie. For our last fully healthy relationship, we finally mention our first human character, April O'Neil and the Turtles. While the Turtles are taught to fear humans by Splinter, again for understandable reasons, April proves herself to be quite an outlier. They fight a gang to get her scooter back when it's stolen, and the two sides of this coin are willing to help each other out so they can get humanity to respect them. April might seem to lose a few points for running away when the Turtles got captured, but she did so primarily to get help from Splinter, and ultimately she was the one who reported on live TV that the Turtles and their new mutant buddies were good guys fighting to protect NYC from Super Duper Fly. The only reason their relationship isn't higher is that they both had their own selfish motives for being friends. The Turtles to become heroes loved by humanity, and April to get rid of her identity as a puke girl by saving her school's prom. But at the end of the day, they did become genuine friends, and I'm sure we'll see more of that in the next movie, just like the last entry. But before this list gets drenched in a generous helping of toxic ooze, let's take a quick trip to the gray area. I'm gonna get controversial right away by kicking off this area with the relationship between Superfly and his mutant gang. On the surface level, this one seems like a surefire winner of a spot in the bad territory, but honestly, you've got to feel some sympathy for the guy, Superfly. Like Splinter, he genuinely made an effort to live in human society with his family, but when rejected, he came up with a plan to turn animals into mutants and make them the dominant species of Earth. Although the plan itself was terrible, Superfly genuinely loved his little siblings, raising them from birth and hoping to make a society where they could all live in peace and harmony. This relationship lands in the gray area for Superfly's attempt to kill them in the film's final act, showing that he's come to love his plan to take over the world with mutants more than his family.
And let the mutants rule the earth.
But other than that, aside from failing to recognize Ray Fillet's wonderful music, Superfly is a caring older brother to his gang. Next up, we're addressing the most mysterious character in the movie, only appearing in his first scene, Baxter Stockman and his mutants. Such mutants include, and are not limited to, Superfly, who was a successful experiment by Baxter and created with the intent of giving himself a family due to not feeling accepted amongst humans. In Baxter's own words, he always felt more of a connection to the animals he experimented on, which is why he's right in the middle of our list. While Superfly loves Baxter and holds him in high regard, he's the product of probably countless experiments on innocent animals. I get that the dude is just lonely, but there's no telling how many crimes against humanity, animality that he committed before Superfly came along. Speaking of humanity though, the final entry before fully toxic territory is that of Splinter and humanity in general. I know I've said it plenty of times by now, but I want to emphasize that Splinter has every right to be reluctant in accepting humans.
Watch a movie with the humans? Ugh.
They've treated the poor guy as a monster as long as he's been around, after all, and even caused one of his sons to almost get hit by a truck the first time they went out into the city. But by the end of the movie, he's had at least something of a change of heart. He at least acknowledges that some humans, like April, are good, and after her live report, Splinter's met with compassion from other humans for the first time. It can't erase the years of abuse he received from them, nor can it erase the years of prejudice Splinter clapped back with, but it's a start on the road to acceptance among humanity. The time has come for the final battle. Let's soak up that evil ooze in the toxic relationships. Falling all the way down here is the relationship between Superfly and the Turtles. At first glance, Superfly and the Turtles seem to get along pretty well. As a fellow mutant, he's willing to take them under his wing and let them join his gang.
I can't believe there are other mutants like us!
That is, until they express disagreement with Superfly's plan to destroy humanity, at which point he threatens them. While he's the lowest in the toxic area due to his initial willingness to team up with the Turtles, we still can't possibly place him anywhere but here due to how contingent their friendship was on the Turtles agreeing with every facet of his plan. Do boss-employee relationships count? Well, either way, next up is Cynthia Utrom and her soldiers. The secondary antagonist of the film, Cynthia doesn't receive quite as much character development nor screen time as Superfly. That said, the point that she's an absolute menace is still made pretty darn clear. First and foremost is the connection between her and the soldiers she orders to attack Baxter Stockman to steal his toxic ooze and figure out how to replicate it. The soldiers fear her greatly, which is a sure sign that she doesn't exactly take disappointment well. With any luck on our end, she won't be too disappointed by the fact that her most toxic relationship, Cynthia and the mutants, is only taking our silver medal of toxicity. Given the fact that Cynthia is more willing to torture the Turtles to take their blood or milk or ooze or whatever it primarily is, you'd think that this would be a shoo-in for the top spot, right? Especially considering her lovely motivation of using their ooze to make mutant super soldiers. It's clear that to Cynthia, mutants are nothing more than tools to be used for her own devices, which is a pretty big issue since they're living, breathing, cognitively aware beings. You might as well consider these top two interchangeable. But for me personally, the relationship between Superfly and humanity can't be beaten in toxicity. First off, take every negative we said about Splinter's relationship with humanity. He tried to live among humans and be accepted for the sake of his family's happiness, and things didn't work out. So he decided to write humans off as mutant-hating scum. The difference is that while Splinter decided to live in peace with his sons, Superfly decided the logical solution was to turn all animals on Earth into mutants in order to make them the dominant species. His plan for humans is to destroy all of them, use them as cheap entertainment, or even possibly enslave them, all of which are different degrees of horrific. What cements Superfly as our gold medalist of toxicity is his end of movie transformation into Super Duperfly, where he took matters into his own hands and started destroying New York City and everyone in it, taking great pleasure in murdering innocent people.
Mutants rule the earth.
Like Splinter, his prejudice was understandable. It's just the whole mass murder thing that I personally have an issue with.